Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are group 2 and our material is the use of componential analysis in translation. Before we explain about the material, let me introduce our group. First, my name is Nur Fadila Bakri as a moderator, Al Farhan, Putri Cinderella, Ahmad Alfian, Zahra Rafida Irwan, Fajar Divo Syaputra, dan Julisha Arya.
Okay, the first one is introduction. Componential analysis in translation. The basic process is to compare a source language word with a target language word which has a similar meaning by demonstrating first their common and then their differences components. Jadi CA atau Componential Analysis dalam terjemahan proses dasarnya itu membandingkan bahasa asal dengan bahasa sasaran yang mempunyai arti yang serupa. Normally, the source language word has a more specific meaning than the target language word. Nah, biasanya bahasa asal ini mempunyai pengertian yang lebih spesifik dibanding dengan bahasa target. And the translator has to add one or two target language sense components to the corresponding target language word in order to produce a closer approximation of meaning. Dan yang terakhir, biasanya penerjemah menambahkan beberapa komponen ke bahasa target untuk menghasilkan makna yang lebih mendekati. The purpose of componential analysis in translation is to achieve the greatest possibly accuracy. Adapun tujuan utama dari analisis komponensial dalam terjemahan adalah untuk mencapai keakuratan yang sebesar mungkin. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to explain about lexical words. The first and most obvious use of CA is in handling words that denote combination of qualities or combinations of action and qualities that appear to show up a lexical gap in target language. Indeed, there are many SL words that can profitably be analyzed completely in relation to their TL cognates, but only in context. The present tendency is for these words to converge in meaning. Controller, harmonizations protocol, and CA may be useful in discussing them contextually. In other cases, the SL word shares a common component with a non-cognate, whilst the sense of the TL's cognate word may provide an SL distinctive or supplementary component. Note that the pragmatic effect of sounds composition particularly applies to German and probably Russian words. Since the language has such a strong physical element, many words of a quality or description appear to have two fairly evenly definite components when out of the context. The pragmatics component of many words consists primarily in their positive or negative connotations, thus makery, peripesis, peporisesir, befremden, and terf, and fremden, orguelix, brutal, have to be shown as negative in translations. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Well, I will continue the next material. The material is about cultural words. The second use of a compositional analysis is in translating cultural and institutional words that readership is unlikely to understand. Firstly, on the particular text type. Secondly, on the requirements of the readership or the client. Thirdly, on the importance of the cultural word in the text. Normally, you should include at least one descriptive and one functional component. Further, in principle, the components in each example are recursive or unlimited. although in a steeply descending order of significance. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay guys, let me explain about synonyms and sets and series. Synonyms. CA can be used to differentiate SL synonyms in context. Frequently, such synonyms are used for emphasis only and can be translated by using a verb with an adverb or adverbial group as an inversion. Further, object synonyms are coupled in a few set phrases such as let and hydrants. Will, testament, goods and cattle, freedom and liberty, where a parallel coupling in translation will normally be unnecessary. However, when synonyms are coupled by an innovative writer, the translator has to attempt a parallel coupling. Let me show your table. Look at the table. Appreciate personal enjoyment plus high regard plus objective plus report minus approximation minus value personal enjoyment plus high regard plus objective plus report nothing approximation minus assess personal enjoyment minus high regard minus objective plus report plus approximation plus evaluate personal enjoyment minus high regard minus objective plus report plus approximation minus esteem personal enjoyment no high regard plus objective plus report plus and approximation minus price personal enjoyment plus high regard plus objective no report no approximation no. Sets and series. A detailed CA establishes, for instance, that a fellow is not a chase, born is not usually born. German has no satisfactory equivalent for cattle. For this material, look at the table to know more details.
The next material is about conceptual terms. Component analysis, together with case grammar, is useful in analyzing conceptual terms. Note that if a concept word becomes a keyword, if it is central to a professional non-literary text, it may be useful to analyze the concept componential in a footnote at its first mention, scrupulously repeating the word at all later citations. Thus, Gramsci's hegemonia could be translated as hegemony, in the sense of cultural leadership and consensus exercised by the intellectuals over a country's institutions. Complement or contrast with political leadership and control. Here, component analysis and definitional lexicography appear to coincide. Component analysis for the translator, however, is normal based on analyzing the difference between a search language word and its close one-to-one target language approximation.
Alright, I am going to explain the next material is neologisms. CA neologisms are useful in translating neologisms. Those new words are said to be able to name newly discovered objects or processes. It could be a new expression that suddenly fills one of the innumerable gaps in language research. In each category, this is a question has first component. Okay, the next material is principle. In their struggle against synonymous translating, they will overdo it. Operationally, it rests on the existence of universals, just like translating in general. Many consider it nonsense, but they have shown that it is more than there is. Thank you.
Language as myths. Last but not least, CA may be employed the words for words like bread, cricket, baseball, pasta, fast, etc. that have come to represent cultural consciousness and language barriers. They were aware of the gulf in feeling and connotation between SL and the TL word, which they believe to be unbridgeable. When such opponents of translation as Robert Graves, Ortega Y. Gasset, and Paul Valery talk about the impossibility of translating pain as bread, vin as wine, and so on. However, the translation serves as the explanation. Instead of two distinct definitions, CA offers an organized explanation of the cultural differences between two words that have the same referent but different pragmatic components.
That's all the presentation from our group. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.